In this video, I will be showing how to find the tangent ratio, how to find an indicated angle using the tangent ratio, and how to find a missing side length using a tangent ratio. So tangent theta, is the angle we are trying to get. So theta is an unknown degree basically, and this is the indicated angle. This is a labeled diagram. So right here we have the indicated angle. We have the adjacent. The adjacent is the side is the line connecting the indicated angle to the right angle. Then we have the opposite. The opposite is always directly across the indicated angle. And then we have the hypotenuse, which is the longest line from the indicated angle all the way up to here, which is, you know what the hypotenuse is. So what we have here is we have a adjacent length of 10 and the opposite being the length of 9. So what we want to do is we want to come over here and we want to realize that tangent theta is opposite over adjacent. So what that means is we want to say, hey, tangent theta equals brackets 9 over 10. So we just filled it in. Now we want to solve it. So we go to our calculator, we hit second or shift, in my case I have shift on here, then we click tangent, and then in brackets 9 divided by 10. I'll say that again. You go to your calculator, you hit shift or second, then you hit tan, the tan button, brackets 9 divided by 10 bracket, and then you get your answer. In this case, that would be 41.9872 yada yada yada, and I'll just go that up to 42 degrees. So our indicated angle right here is 42 degrees. Now, the sum of all of the degrees added up has to be 180 degrees. So once you have one indicated angle, and you know it's a right angle triangle, all you have to do now is say, hey, 180, take away 90, because this is 90 degrees, take away 42 equals, I'm not doing that math in my head, I'll do it right here. 90 take away 42, it's 48. 48 degrees. So, hey, that was pretty easy. We just solved two angles in a pretty short amount of time. Now, to find the tangent ratio of C, of the indicated angle. Now, obviously, it's opposite over adjacent, so the tangent ratio for C would be 9 over 10. If you can see that, 9 over 10. Now you can literally divide 9 and 10 and get 0.9, but that's not always necessary. So yeah, that is how you label diagram. And I'll also show you how to find the hypotenuse. Now the hypotenuse is really easy. Using the Pythagorean theorem, we know that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. It will always equal c squared. So I can come over here, so a squared would be 10. So 10 squared plus b squared, 9 squared, will equal c squared. So plug that into your calculator. 9 squared. 10 squared plus 9 squared. I'm sorry, I put that in wrong. Give me a moment. I put it in wrong again. Equals 181. Now that we have that, we need to find the square root of 181. So you go to your calculator and you find the square root button, which should look like this shape I just did right there. And then you type in square root 181, and the answer is 13.4532 yada yada yada, but I will round it to 13, and that's our hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse will always be bigger than these two measurements. So if this is smaller than these two, something went wrong with your math. Now here we only have one side length, and we have an angle that is already found. Now, I'm not going to go through and label the whole diagram like I did up here. I'm just going to show you how to find the other side length, the opposite, because that's all we can find with the tangent ratio. Here we have the adjacent. So what we want to do is we want to recognize that tan, and instead of using theta like we did up there, we have the angle. So tangent 55 degrees equals opposite over adjacent. So this is the opposite over here, because of course it is across the angle, and this is the adjacent. Now what we want to do is we could times it by both sides, go through the whole thing, but I just like to think that when you have the bottom number, you just put it in front of tangent, and you go 8 times tangent 55. Of course, you would like to multiply by both sides, take some stuff away, etc., etc. But me, this is how I do my math. I find it simple. Just know that it's always the side length you have times tangent and then 55. And then you plug that into your calculator. You do not need to hit shift, just hit 8 tan 55, and that equals 11.425 yada yada yada. But we're gonna go with 11, and that is our opposite. And again, if we want to find the hypotenuse, it is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 8 squared plus 11 squared equals equals 185. The square root of 185 is 13.60 yada yada, and I will round that to 14. So 14 is our hypotenuse. And that is how you utilize the tangent ratio in trigonometry. Personally, it'll probably be the most useful and most common ratio you'll be using in trigonometry, since more often than not, you'll have the adjacent. And if you don't have the adjacent, then it's pretty easy. At least you'll always have one angle, and I don't know where I'm going with that sentence. Thank you for watching.